What if the real reason your conversations feel flat has nothing to do with being boring, and everything to do with a few invisible rules you keep breaking without noticing? Because intimate, interesting conversations are not a personality trait. They're not luck. They're not having game. They're a skill, a sequence, a controllable process. And once you understand the process, you can create real depth with almost anyone, without oversharing, without forcing deep talk, and without turning yourself into a performer who tries too hard. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most men keep conversations shallow because they're playing defense. They're afraid of saying the wrong thing, afraid of being judged, afraid of silence. So they hide behind safe questions and dead topics. Work, school, where you're from, what you did this weekend. That's not conversation, that's paperwork. And you already know how this ends. Polite smiles, short answers, and a vibe that fades the moment you walk away. If you want intimacy, you need to stop treating conversation like an interview and start treating it like a guided experience. A journey where the other person feels two things at the same time, safe and alive. That's the secret most men miss. People open up when they feel safe. People get excited when they feel energy. Intimacy without energy becomes friendly and forgettable. Energy without safety becomes pressure and distrust. Your job is to blend both. Warmth and edge, comfort and spark, calm and intensity, without disrespect, without manipulation, and without turning it into therapy. So listen closely, because I'm going to give you a complete system you can run in real time. Not cute scripts, not lines, not a fake persona. A system that makes you the kind of man people want to talk to, because you make them feel understood, challenged, and genuinely seen. And when someone feels seen, connection becomes natural. And when connection becomes natural, attraction doesn't need to be forced. First, you need to understand what intimacy actually means. Intimacy is not sexual talk. Intimacy is emotional closeness created through honest disclosure, delivered at the right pace with mutual choice. That means you don't jump from small talk to someone's childhood wounds. You don't pry, you don't demand, you build a staircase, one step at a time. Depth is paced, not pushed. Push and people resist, pace and people follow. Now what makes a conversation interesting? Interest is attention plus meaning. Most conversations die because they stay stuck in facts. Facts are easy, meaning is magnetic. Meaning lives in emotions, values, desires, standards, fears, and the way someone interprets life. If you learn how to guide the conversation toward meaning, you will never be out of things to say, because meaning is infinite. Here's the framework. Every unforgettable conversation has 4 pillars: presence, direction, depth, and tension. Presence makes people feel safe and felt. Direction keeps the talk from drifting into boredom. Depth turns facts into meaning. Tension makes it feel alive, playful, charged, and real, without crossing boundaries. Most men are missing at least 2 of these. They might be nice, but have no tension, so they become the friendly guy. Or they have tension but no presence, so they come off arrogant or aggressive. Or they talk a lot with no direction, so everything feels random. Your goal is to stack all 4. Let's start with presence, because without presence, everything else feels like a tactic. Presence is not passive listening. Presence is making someone experience your attention as real. It's the difference between hearing words and actually receiving someone. People bond with those who make them feel understood and valued. And that doesn't require perfect words. It requires attunement. Attunement starts with pace. A grounded man doesn't rush. He doesn't fill every gap. He doesn't talk fast to hide insecurity. He speaks with calm certainty. He allows silence to exist without panic. That alone changes the dynamic, because most people are rarely around someone who isn't desperate to be liked. Calm is a signal of strength. And here is a tool that instantly upgrades presence: emotional labeling. You name the feeling or the vibe you sense without judgment. Not like a therapist, like a man who's tuned in. That sounds like it drained you. You seem genuinely excited about that. I get the sense you've thought about this for a long time. When you label accurately, people relax because they feel recognized. And even if you're slightly off, they correct you, which makes them talk more and invest more. The real power isn't perfection. The power is that you're paying attention beneath the surface. Presence also means clean attention. You're not listening to prepare your next story. You're not waiting for your turn. You're not scanning for how to impress. You're listening to understand. And there's a masculine edge to this when you do it right. You don't chase approval. You create connection through calm focus. You become the kind of man who can hold someone's reality without needing to control it. Now we add direction. Direction means you choose themes that lead somewhere. Most men stay trapped in low-quality questions. What do you do? Where are you from? Do you like it here? Those are warm-ups. Fine. But if you want interesting, you must shift from information to interpretation. Not what happened, but what did it mean? Not what is it, but how do you see it? Not tell me facts, but show me your perspective. This is where men mess up. They ask question after question like a checklist, and it feels like an interview. Exploration is different. Exploration is a thread. You pick one thing and follow it deeper. Threads create momentum. Threads make someone feel like you're actually with them, not scanning through topics to avoid silence. So here's the skill: threading. You listen for emotional handles, words that carry feeling. Busy, stressed, finally, confusing, I love, I can't stand, I'm trying, I miss. When you hear a handle, you don't step over it. You pick it up and pull gently. If someone says, I've been busy, don't ask for a schedule. Ask for meaning. Busy in a good way, or the draining kind. If someone says, I love traveling, don't just ask where. Ask what it does to them. What does travel change in you? The moment you do that, you move from facts to depth, and the conversation becomes addictive because it becomes about identity. Now we move to depth. Depth comes from two things: calibrated disclosure and specificity. Most men fail at both. They either disclose too little, so nothing feels personal, or they overshare too early, so it feels heavy and awkward. The secret is calibrated disclosure, small truths stated confidently, without apology, that invite a matching truth. Read that again. Confident disclosure, not confession, not emotional dumping. Confidence. You share in a way that says, this is who I am, not please validate me. That's masculine. And it creates safety, because the other person feels no pressure to rescue you. For example, instead of hiding your standards, you state them calmly. Instead of pretending you don't care, you own what you care about without being dramatic. Instead of talking around your values, you reveal them in clean language. And then you invite, softly, for the other person to meet that level. Not with interrogation, with curiosity. I'm curious how you see it. What's your take? What matters most to you there? Soft invitations keep the vibe relaxed while still moving deeper. Now, specificity. Specificity is the difference between nice talk and unforgettable connection. People speak in generalities because it's safe. Your job is to guide them into vivid details that reveal emotion and meaning. Not details like dates and addresses. Details like preferences, standards, and internal experience. What kind of music changes your mood instantly? What drains you the most about that? What do you always learn about yourself when you're away from your normal life? Those questions are intimate because they pull out the inner world without forcing heaviness. Now comes the pillar that separates friendly conversations from magnetic ones: tension. Tension is not aggression. Tension is emotional contrast. It's the feeling that something is happening, that the interaction has electricity, that it isn't flat. Most men either avoid tension completely because they fear rejection, or they create tension in a sloppy way, being rude, teasing too hard, trying to neg or dominate. That destroys trust. The correct tension is clean. It's playful challenge. It's calm disagreement. It's selective approval. It's warmth with edge. A powerful way to create clean tension is respectful contrast. You don't mirror everything. You don't chase agreement. You have your own mind. I see why you think that. I'm different. I actually think that creates polarity. Polarity creates energy. Energy creates interest. And if you're talking to someone you're attracted to, that energy is the bridge between comfort and chemistry. Another tension tool is playful pushback. Not argumentative, playful, interesting, convince me. Said with calm confidence, it invites the other person to invest. Investment builds connection. Connection builds attraction. You're not trying to win. You're creating a game of minds. Light, respectful, alive. Now let's turn this into a sequence you can use anywhere. Think of it like a staircase you climb with someone. Step by step, without forcing anything. You open with something that has life. You anchor the vibe. You deepen through threading. You charge with clean tension. You close by leaving an imprint. Opening. Stop starting with dead questions. You want an opener that invites personality. One of the strongest types is a choice question. Two options that reveal taste. Taste reveals identity. Identity creates interest. Another strong opener is an observation about something they chose. Style, energy, vibe, followed by curiosity about meaning, not just detail. The best openers are not the cleverest. They are the most present. Anchoring. This is where most men mess up because they try to prove themselves. Don't. Anchor the vibe by slowing down. Use calm tone. Use short statements. Let the interaction breathe. Own silence. Silence is not awkward when you don't fear it. Silence becomes tension when you hold it comfortably. Deepening. This is threading in action. Listen for handles, then pull gently toward meaning. Avoid the harsh why, which can sound interrogative. Use softer forms. What is it about that? What made that stand out? How did that change you? These questions feel natural, but they go deep. Charging. This is where you blend warmth and edge. You validate selectively, meaning you recognize what you genuinely respect. Discipline, honesty, courage, taste, standards. Over-validating everything makes you predictable and weak. Selective recognition makes your attention feel earned, and anything that feels earned feels valuable. You also use implication instead of explicitness. Flirtation is not sexual talk. Flirtation is playful uncertainty. It's the feeling that something could happen without you forcing it. You create that by pausing, smiling at the right moment, making a confident statement and letting it hang, challenging lightly and staying calm. Calm is the amplifier. Calm makes everything land harder. Closing. Most men end conversations with nothing memorable. A strong close is a reflection, not a generic compliment, a reflection of their inner world. You're the kind of person who takes things seriously when you care. I can tell you don't waste time on shallow connections. You have a sharp mind, but you're not cold. If it's accurate and specific, it hits deep. People remember the ones who see them. Now let's talk about the most common fear, running out of things to say. If you run out, it's because you're thinking in topics, not threads. Topics end. Threads don't. Threads are built from emotion, values, decisions, contrasts, and meaning. If you can move through those 5, you never run out. Emotion, how did that feel for you? Values, what matters most to you about that? Decisions, what made you choose that? Contrast, what do most people get wrong about that? Meaning, what does that represent for you? Any subject can go deeper through those doors. Here's another advanced skill that makes you instantly different: holding emotional weight without fixing it. When someone shares something real, most men panic. They try to solve it, joke it away, or change the subject. That communicates, I can't handle your reality. People only go deep with someone who can handle reality. So instead of fixing, you validate and inquire. Validation is not agreement, it's acknowledgement. That makes sense. I can see why that would hit you. Then you ask a question that helps them explore, not defend. When you do this, you create emotional safety, and emotional safety is rare. Rare is attractive. Now, if your goal is intimacy with a woman you're attracted to, you must avoid 2 extremes: the friendly trap and the thirsty trap. The friendly trap is when you become too safe, too agreeable, too neutral. The conversation feels fine, but there's no spark. The thirsty trap is when you push too hard, too many compliments, too much intensity, too much escalation through words before there's real connection. That creates pressure. The middle path is self-controlled interest. You don't hide your attraction, but you don't beg. You stay warm, but you stay selective. You enjoy the connection, but you don't need it to feel okay. That emotional independence is one of the strongest signals you can send, because it tells the other person, I'm here because I want to be, not because I need you to validate me. And this leads to a principle that changes everything. People desire what feels chosen, not what feels given away. Your attention must feel intentional, not scattered, not desperate, not automatic. When you give attention intentionally, it carries weight. When attention carries weight, the other person feels it. So stop acting impressed by surface-level things. Beauty is common. What's rare is character, standards, humor, integrity, self-awareness, discipline, curiosity. When you recognize those qualities, you create intimacy fast because you're responding to who they are, not just what they look like. That makes you feel different from the crowd, because most men are predictable. Now let's address a trap that kills intimacy: over-validation. Many men think intimacy means constant reassurance and praise. It doesn't. That creates a parent-child vibe and destroys polarity. Instead of praise, give recognition. Praise is generic. Recognition is specific. That's impressive is cheap when repeated. I respect how disciplined you are about that, lands, because it's precise. Also, let the other person impress you. A lot of men give away approval too easily because they fear losing the person. But attraction grows when there is a sense of earning. Not earning your respect through performance, but earning your attention through authentic investment. Now we go even deeper. Subtext. Real conversation mastery is responding to what's underneath the words. People rarely say exactly what they mean emotionally. They hint, they test, they reveal indirectly. Your job is to notice the emotional signal and respond to it. If someone talks a lot about achievement, the subtext may be a desire for respect. If someone jokes constantly, the subtext may be fear of vulnerability. If someone stays practical and avoids feelings, the subtext may be that trust is earned slowly. You don't expose this like an accusation. You simply meet the deeper need with your presence, respect, patience, calm curiosity. When you respond to subtext, people feel deeply understood, even if they can't explain why. And if you want a simple rule to guide you, make it this. Ask yourself, in real time, what emotion is behind what they're saying? If it's excitement, amplify it. If it's stress, soften and validate. If it's pride, respect it. If it's uncertainty, stabilize. If it's curiosity, explore. If it's defensiveness, reduce pressure and stay calm. This one question turns you from a random talker into a deliberate communicator. Now, one more thing that separates masters from amateurs: silence after meaningful questions. When you ask something that could lead to depth, stop talking. Let the other person think. Don't rescue them. Don't fill the gap. The gap is where depth forms. Silence is powerful when you're comfortable. It communicates confidence. It communicates patience. It communicates that you can handle what comes next. But to make all of this work, you need the correct internal state. If you try to use techniques while you're anxious, it will feel off. If you bring grounded calm, even simple words become intimate. Intimacy is less about the perfect question and more about the energy behind it. So here's the state: curiosity without neediness, interest without chasing, warmth without weakness, edge without aggression. If you enter conversations with that state, the system becomes natural, because you're not acting. You're simply directing attention toward meaning, while staying calm and selective. And now, the final shift that will make you unstoppable. Stop trying to have a good conversation. Start trying to reveal a real person. Everyone has depth. Most people never get invited to show it. When you become the man who invites it, calmly, respectfully, with a little edge, you become unforgettable. So the next time you feel yourself drifting into boring small talk, catch it. Slow down. Choose a thread. Ask for meaning. Offer a small truth. Hold the silence. Add a playful challenge. Recognize what you genuinely respect. Then reflect what you notice and leave an imprint. Do that consistently, and you won't just have intimate and interesting conversations with anyone. You'll become the kind of man whose presence turns ordinary moments into connection, and connection into something people crave.